Hey, everybody, it's the coach.
From the second largest city in the U.S., Los Angeles, California, we've got football as EA Sports coverage of the NFL is on the air. Today, it's an NFC West battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the Los Angeles Rams. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. They'll be led out by their 6'5 quarterback out of North Dakota State. It's Carson Wentz.
And this is a game for grit, determination, and somehow finding a way not to panic. What a horrible start for them. I mean, they haven't won a game yet. So now, as a quarterback, you're not just talking to your team. You've got to demonstrate to them what they need to do to win. He's got to be the leader by how he plays.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. This is taken at the 23. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 12, 1st down Seahawks.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 12, 1st down Seahawks.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Buying time to his left. And he'll be forced out of bounds shy of the line of scrimmage, so that'll be credited as a sack. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
Now, I know it's only a loss of a couple of yards, but when you get near the sidelines, just flip the ball out of bounds, incomplete, and save the yardage. Save the yards, not your stats.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
They'll set up to throw. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle is going to be made at the Rams' 17-yard line.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
They'll run on first down. Jefferson. He will push his way down to about the 14. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call run fits, everyone was in the right place.
That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try to adjust when a guy is disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a second guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Partner, they weren't quite in the red zone, but things are starting to get condensed on the field. Throwing the corner route there, really nice play because it gives them a little bit of room to complete it.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Back to throw here. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically, what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for. One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Wentz going to throw. It's caught. Lockett. That one, a first down pickup of 8. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
First and 10 at the 36-yard line.
On play action, it's Wentz. This complete to Lockett. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Here we go. 180.
Now a draw play to McCaffrey. And he's going to get this pretty close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Seahawks 35. Wentz to throw on 3rd and 1. He's got a man. It's Williams. And he will have the first down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time. What a methodical drive this is turning out to be. That time 9 yards, and the sticks move again. Wentz going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ballgame. Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Back to the ground attack here. It's McCaffrey. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second.
That result, really no surprise. That's what we're coming accustomed to with this #1 ranked rush defense.
And you study the game. Does this bring back a few memories? Maybe the 85 Bears trying to move the ball against them, 2000 Ravens. Heck, how about the late 60s, early 70s Purple People?
And it's complete. He's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Jakeem Grant, his first touchdown on the year. And the Rams have taken the lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. And a great return, solid field position. He's up all the way to the 45-yard line.
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
I
don't know about that. Super tall.
That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, if bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance. And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. So here are the Rams to take over. Remember, right now they are on a 6-game losing streak, trying to snap that. And a good sign is they've got the lead in the football. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 2nd and 11 now. Wentz, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they're set up in a golden position here right around the 10-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Now a give right side. Jefferson. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Seahawks are going to retake the lead. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Well, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though he threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. Just his second incompletion so far. He's 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it because you just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those.
It's complete to Jones. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 11 and a first down L.A. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On first and 10, here's Wentz. Brought in over the middle by Grant. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a gain of 11 and a first down L.A. 2 minutes remaining in the first half, 10-7, our score. Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's first and 10 up at the 46. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. That's a gain of 13, first down Rams. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Devin Bush coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the first down. Now the Seahawks forced to use their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And no, it doesn't get there. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out. He had it online, but it comes up about a rotation short. All things considered, a pretty good kick, just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck, and unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. 25 yards that time.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
That'll pick up the first down for Seattle on a gain of 18. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. He'll look to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. They'll look to throw here. Open man is Higgins. 17 yards on the pickup. And just like that, it's 3rd down. So we've come upon halftime with the visiting Seahawks. They're out in the second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. This will be fielded at the 6, and it'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Jefferson. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. 2nd and 5. And this is incomplete. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now back to throw. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A gain of 22. So again from the 39, this time from the other side of the field. Here's 1st and 10. Going to give this time to the tailback. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It's a loss of 4 on the 1st down play.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
2nd and 14. This pass complete to Higgins. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 26. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
They only got a yard out of that last completion. And that makes this 2nd and 9. A throw over the middle, taken in. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 10 yards and a Seattle 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. On 1st down, Jefferson. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. The former LSU Tiger Dante Jackson on the stop.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield as it turned out. Couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. He'll look to throw toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. It was Ricardo Allen there on the coverage.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something. Been pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Another run, this time McCaffrey. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Wentz. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone.
And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Seahawks capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so. Well, they couldn't be happy that they were having to stop a 2-point conversion because that means they gave up a touchdown. But a little solace there. You saw some good gang tackling, stacking him up before he can get to the end zone.
We talk about offensive units putting in more 2-point period sessions in practice. Defensively, do you do the same?
Absolutely. You have to because you never know how aggressive these offenses are going to be in games nowadays.
Here we go. Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time.
They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And an alley to run. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. First down, Los Angeles there with a pickup of 14 yards. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. This is McCaffrey. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
2nd and 10. The 39-yard line.
On second down, McCaffrey. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and 13. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Working from the gun, Wentz. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
We play to win. Let's go.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And, Charles, you'd have to think this is where you want to start taking some time off the clock.
Oh, definitely, because you got the lead, right? You take a good look up there and you say, okay, what do we need to do here? Well, you're not in full-out protect mode. You want to make sure you run it, throw it safe, take some time off, and eat it up.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. They'll keep it on the ground. Jefferson. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 11 yards there and a 1st down for Seattle. Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Back now in Los Angeles. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th and final quarter. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And now the Rams have got it, going the other way. And they are going to score on the fumble return. Touchdown, L.A. This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark. No doubt about it. And, you know, that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And out now come the Seahawks. They'll be looking to make amends for the events of a moment ago. A fumble return for 6 points. You absolutely have to protect the football. That's got to be priority number 1 because margin for error is starting to slip away. Now it's down to a 1-score game. A run there on 1st down and a pretty good one of 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. Offense. He was trying to clear the way, the big fullback. Instead, he gets a hold. And you don't see that very often on running plays from those guys because usually they're the lead blocker. Normally, when he gets caught, it's in a passing situation.
I'm ready. Come on, 54 is Mike. Check, watch 54, watch 54. I smell fear. Ready, go.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead. You've got to protect it. And he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this. 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And
he's got a man, complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, it brings me right out of my seat.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short and shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
7 yards there and a first down. They'll run on first down. Jefferson. Jalen Smith, the Notre Dame man, in on the tackle. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Now, think about all the practices we've watched where they had that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. They'll set up a throw, and he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Sacked by the outside backer, Telvin Smith. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
The L.A. offense ready to go for their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. That's a gain of 13, first down Rams. Wentz now on first down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Right now clinging to a one-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs, and the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
And he'll get it down here to the 43.
Let's go. Let's do this.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
He's got the first down here inside the 30. And down to the 29-yard line. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. Taking it right down Broadway. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown of the game, 10th on the year. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Rosas good with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And a pretty good run there in the end to top it off. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here's Carson Wentz now with the rest of his offensive unit heading onto the field. So, Charles, there are the numbers. What's happened here? Defensive adjustments that's caused him to sort of fall off a bit?
I think so. That has to happen. You've got to make some changes because in the first half, they were pretty effective. But the second part is sometimes when you're doing really well, you get off your game a little bit. You get off the gas a little. You're like, okay, we've got this thing. And that's not necessarily the case. Maybe right now, someone just needs to tell a joke in the huddle, loosen things up, and get their big guy going again. I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Devin Bush in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. After the sack on 1st down, Wentz, he'll drop it off to McCaffrey. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. He's got his target. It's Cobb. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Wentz now to throw. And he has now hit number 500. Charles, that is his 500th NFL career catch.
Definitely worthy of applause, but I remember when 500 meant you were going to the Hall of Fame. Nowadays, in today's football, 500 puts you on the path, a significant number.
Wentz again here on 2nd and 10. He'll get this to McCaffrey out of the backfield. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their 2nd, as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Again, they'll throw with Wentz. This complete to Lockett. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. This is caught by Williams. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. The Rams going to be forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. Throwing is Wentz. And this is caught. Touchdown. And now they're an extra point away from winning this thing in the final seconds.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though. Now this one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Give him 8 on the play, and it'll be a 2nd down. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. That one looks like he'll throw here. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over.
So the victory here for Seattle. And I tell you, these division games never for the faint of heart, but they come through.